for those who agree with us, but freedom of thought for the thoughts we hate. So said Justice Oliver Wendell of the US Supreme Court. Of course, there are limits to freedom of expression, even in a libertarian democracy, where statements will cause real harm. But if we fear all outrageous statements, if we fear a swell of support for unpopular views, if we fear challenge, we will not only stifle free thought, we will stifle independence and liberty. We will lose the opportunity to rebut, exposed to argument, analysis, and scrutiny. And we will lose the opportunity to win over those who may have listened and silently supported and agreed. Limiting free speech does not always quash unwelcome beliefs. France has more laws restricting free speech than any other Western democracy. It also has Europe's largest far-right party. In 2009, Nick Griffin appeared on Question Time, watched by 8 million people. At the time, the BNP polled 6.26% of the national vote. But in the first general election after that, not only did they fail to win a seat, but they fragmented in the polls. And last week it was announced by the Electoral Commission that the BNP had been stripped of its status as an official political party. Let me just finish the point. The New Statesman referred to the poor performance on Question Time as a factor in eroding Nick Griffin's popularity.
All right, guys, we're going to cut out of this. It looks like we have fixed some of our network issues. Again, this is Reverend Clementa Pinckney's wife speaking about her late husband at this National Action Network event on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
The Honorable Reverend Clementa C. Pinckney. He lived a life like the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was a preacher. He was a teacher. He was about service, peace, and taking action. He was a voice for the voiceless. He believed in seniors getting affordable health care. Before his untimely death, he was working with an organization and that was trying to develop a mobile health unit, because his area was a rural area. It was a large Senate area. And so now they're trying to work with me so that they can raise the $250,000 to actually get this mobile unit into action. He believed in public education. There was never an issue when our daughters were born where they were going to go to school. They're going to public school. I went to public school. I was in a poor district. It's a poor school, but look at me. That's what he would say. I'm a product of public schools, and our daughters will be products of public schools. Another issue that he was working on before his untimely death were body cameras. For policemen to have body cameras at all times. These are just a few of the issues and things that my husband worked on and believed. A lot of people knew him as Senator. A lot of people knew him as Reverend. Family members like his sister, called him Clem. But he was my Tay. I called him Tay. Before we were even married, it was Tay. And all of my friends started calling him Tay. On behalf of myself and our two beautiful daughters, ages 6 and 11, we want to thank you for this prestigious award. Tay was an humble and spiritual man, and I know he would say that he wasn't deserving of any type of award. But since this has happened, the family has been very grateful for the love and support that we have received. The community, our state, and our country, many people all over the world have prayed for us and expressed their love in so many different ways. We're blessed for the service of my husband. He loved his work as a senator. He loved his work as a pastor. And I am committed, and it is my hope to continue his work and all of the issues that he stood for. And that's why I've created a foundation in his name. I want to make him proud. He always said, I got to do for my girls. Me and Eliana and Milana, we were his girls. And because they lost their mom, my mother-in-law, at a young age, or about 15 years ago, rather, he adopted my mom. My mom became his mom. So instead of him having 3 girls, he had 4. I got to take care of my 4 girls. I'll leave you with this. I miss Tay. The girls miss their father. On that fateful day, he was at work in the Senate. He knew he had to drive 2 hours to Charleston to be a pastor. And I said, I'll go with you. I'll go with you so that I can help you drive and you can relax and do the things that you need to do, make phone calls. I'll go with you. At first, he was like, no, you stay home. But for some reason, I wouldn't let it go. I kept texting him, I'll go with you. I'll go with you. So he finally gave in and he said, I'll be there to pick you up 2 o'clock. Be ready, because I have to get to church. So I told our 6-year-old, I'm going to church with Daddy. And of course she says, I'm going with you. I told our 11-year-old, I'm going to church with Daddy. And your sister's going with us. Well, I'm going to stay home with Grandma. He told Milana on the trip to Charleston, baby girl, when I'm finished, I'm going to take you to McDonald's. Unfortunately, we never made it to McDonald's. Unfortunately, my husband never came back home. Continue to pray for the victims' families.